Look who's back. Look who's back. Who's going to go out the door first? Watch out, Steve. T-Rex is on a tear. Where's he going? 76 degrees at 7:37. You come on, Steve. Let's go. Let's go out the door for some weather and more. Out our original door. We haven't been here yet this month, have we? Clear. Sailing. Don't wake up to a sailboat out here very often. That's a good sign already. There's a breeze today amidst this heat. I saw 93 on the thermometer in South Dennis yesterday on Cape Cod, even though in Hyannis at the airport the official high was 88 degrees. Anybody that's working outside said 88. Come on, it's easy 90. 94 in Fitchburg, Massachusetts yesterday. That ties April 14th and July 6th. The two other days that hit 94 in Fitchburg did not hit even 90 in August. It's a heat wave. What is this, day 5 or so? The heat is beginning to break with tremendous thunderstorms last night. I did not capture the lightning, but so many people were showing us the lightning storms. And Mike McCormick in Maine measured close to 3/4 inch diameter hail. Ice. Ice fell from the sky yesterday when the temperature was, well, it was in the mid-90s yesterday. It wasn't in the mid-90s last night. But up in the sky, it's always freezing at some point, and the freezing level probably up around 15,000 feet. So what happens is that hot air is very buoyant. It rises with a weak front, believe it or not. Yeah, it was a weak front that came into New England, but it's just so hot and there was enough of a dynamic to cause those tremendous lightning storms reported up and down the East Coast and throughout the Great Lakes the last several days, and that's not going to end. It's going to keep on going, but it's going to come our way being here in eastern Massachusetts later today, and then it's going to stay here for about a week until that hurricane goes by next weekend. This is actually a rare treat. You don't often see the sailboats full sail going by here. And kind of into the wind, too. The wind is from the southwest. It's very sticky, but thanks to these clouds, not as hot today. There's some blue sky up there. This morning, what an incredible sunrise. Thank you, Ed Hughes, for sharing the sunrise overlooking Boston. Since then, the lower clouds have filled in, and we've had a smoky sky for days and days, so all that is happening right now. Now, let's look at the surface map this morning. You get the little orange dash line, then you get a blue line and a blue line. That's a surface trough, a weak cold front and a weak cold front. And then put it forward tonight, or this afternoon, then tonight, this afternoon, 2 blue lines, that's 2 cold fronts. Then tonight, 1 cold front. But the cold front is only a cold front if it's pushing to the east and colder air is coming in, and that's not really happening. So tomorrow morning, all of a sudden, it's a blue/red/blue. That's called the stationary front. And that stationary front is going to be stationary for like a week. So off and on showers and thunderstorms from today until further notice when the hurricane's going to go by next week. Reflected in the 14-day forecast. Look at that. The temperature starts to go down, but every day with the raindrops and the lightning bolts. So more comfortable air, but a lot of rain coming our way. Want to look at the rainfall first? All right, here come batches today, tomorrow. It's not a washout this weekend. It's the kind of weather where, you know, there are downpours around, but it's not pouring at any one spot for more than a half hour or so. So you may have an inch of rain one day, but 23 hours of the day was not raining. And then really next Thursday, Friday, that front next Thursday, Friday, that's really going to break the humidity. The heat's going down, but the humidity is going to stay here with a dew point near 70. That front next Friday may be the next wettest front, and that's the one that's going to capture Lee. Now, how far Lee is offshore and how far east that front is makes a big difference. How's Lee doing this morning? Well, it's a spectacle indeed when the wind went from 80 miles per hour on Wednesday night to 160 miles an hour last night. Oh, wind. Sorry, Chuck. Wind, talking about wind, 180 miles per hour. Excuse me. It went from 80 to 160 miles per hour in 24 hours. That is rapid intensification. And the central pressure now on Lee is down to 923 millibars, or 27.35 inches of mercury. I always talk about pressure. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure, and that's extreme low pressure, and it may not be done deepening yet. Deepening means the pressure, central pressure, is still going down. It's over really warm water, perfect upper level ridging, cut off high pressure system over the top of it, so it's like a chimney where the air at the center in the eye goes up, and there's no shear, and there's plenty of moisture, and energy is that hot water underneath it. Had a request yesterday on YouTube. Tim, do you think that these storms going over that really warm water will cool off the water? Yeah, no doubt it will. It'll especially cool the top of the water, cause some upwelling. So yeah, it'll use up some of that fuel, and it relocates that hot air to high in the atmosphere, and it allows the cooler air to come down from the North Pole, and it's all a big cycle, and that's what weather is. Anyhow, the forecast for Lee has changed overnight. It's dramatic, to say the least. The storm, Lee and Margot, by the way, out there, there's twin storms, and Lee now forecast to come well west of Bermuda, but then curve well north of Bermuda. I hope I got that right. Actually, I don't know how far away from Bermuda it is, but well away from New England. That's the bottom line here. That's the latest forecast from the Euro, has it going hundreds of miles east of Nantucket yesterday, where before it was within 100 or 200 miles. Makes a huge difference. The diameter of the hurricane force winds, by the way, is about 70 miles. So as long as it misses by more than 70 miles to the east, you don't get a hurricane. You get the big waves, you can get lashing wind and rain, but not hurricane type damage. So it's a positive sign, a little less stressful looking at the forecast this morning for Lee going by. It slowed down a little bit, and that would be next Sunday and Monday, it looks like now. It's going to get picked up by a trough. We talked a couple days ago about how that trough was somewhere over over Russia, and had to come over Alaska. Well, now it's over Alaska. Now we get that trough over Alaska. A little bit of that trough is going to go over a little bit of a ridge in northwestern Canada, and then that trough comes down through southern Canada into the Great Lakes. And notice there's a little bit of discontinuity with the trough coming through New England and a little bit left to the south. So it's not a done deal at all, but it is fascinating that we're watching a trough that originated in Alaska picking up a low pressure system that developed in Africa. That's why New England has the most interesting weather in the world. Air from Russia meeting up with air from Africa, very close to the northeastern United States and New England. It's never dull. Having a lot of fun watching this sailboat. I got you, Andrew, going right below the sunset last night over here. We got home in time to watch a hot sunset. Another smoky one with that thunderhead way over there. Yesterday that was about 125 miles away, producing severe weather over New York into southern Vermont. Anyhow, those will be on our horizon or right over us every day for the next week. So there's so much action, goes well beyond tracking Lee. We have to track strong to severe thunderstorms day after day. The lifted index today is -9 in Boston. So a parcel that lifts up from ground level up into the top of the thunderstorm is 9 degrees warmer than the surrounding environment. And that is buoyant, and there are going to be more hailstorms and lightning shows for us every day. Didn't even get to the garden. Garden's doing okay. And the lawn, I was worried it might start burning out. Not. Even though it's been hot, some of the plants wilted out in front that didn't get watered, but mowing season continues. Good, get back to that. And say goodbye to Steve before we sign off for the day. Steve, your fans want to see your face. Steve, come on. All right, that's good. Talk to you later. 12:30, September 7th. It's the thermometer I grew up with. I trust it. Good old 91 degrees in the shade. It's on the north side of the house. May have been in the sun a little bit earlier, but it's been in the shade now for an hour. 91 degrees, probably the hottest September 7th in some people's lives. Nice AC in here, but strike three, trying to get help from AAA. The phone service doesn't work, the website doesn't work, and inside there, they don't have any special connections. So, what to do? And I thought AAA was so great. Anyhow, 91 degrees in the shade in South Venice. Good day for sitting on the side of the road with a car. Still counting now, 93 in the shade. They're done with the chainsaw activity. Now, time for a Fallon's Pond rinse. Looking good over there. I love the new good fences make good neighbors policy. Holding about 94, so everyone's saying, is this the hottest day of the year on Cape Cod? And I'm saying, I think it is. There's not that much wind, dew point's up. Kind of crappy day to have to work outdoors, especially dealing with double toe jobs. Thank you, Rich. In that garage, two Jeeps from the 80s. Going up the road, a Porsche, which I know nothing about, and a Rover from the 2000 teens. Where do I get CJs from 1984 and 87? Oh, neighbor envy. Later, Rover. It was 95, just changed to 94 at 5 o'clock, pulling into Bingham and Weymouth. Haven't seen this thermometer in a while. 105 in the sun. 95 when we pulled in. More people on the beach right now than there were when we left a week ago. 110 on the upstairs thermometer. It's only 91 down here. We haven't been down here in a while, have we? Steve missed us. Haven't seen Steve in a while. He's just sitting up there meowing, waiting to go out the door. This is just a, this is the end more part of the weather. I harvested those pumpkins before I took off, and some tomatoes, which probably wasn't the best idea. Gorgeous. Well, except for the fact it's close to 100 degrees. Haven't seen my garden in a while. I haven't watered the garden by hand pretty much all summer. Do I even bother now? Well, looks pretty good. Someone cut down all that sumac a couple months ago, and that's how fast it grows back. But at least someone left a little view for some of the people here at the shelf. Just crazy how the town doesn't want to take care of this. 9/7/2023, 7 p.m. What's some nat sound of sunset? Yeah, what's up, Doc? Hottest September 7th since... All right, let's call it a night with Andrew going through the scene. Andrew, are you looking at the western horizon? You see that thing? That's like an anvil cloud. No, that's an anvil cloud. Closer to New York than Boston. Probably a good thunderstorm somewhere over there. That's the beginning of the end of this heat wave. The heat may go away, but the humidity is going to stick around with showers and thunderstorms until further notice. Until Lee goes by safely out to sea. Amen. Good night.